centers. The centers with TJD and Looney. So the big question mark here is a guy that I did not mention in those list of 21 players is Quinten Post, right? And so we still don't know what the Warriors are doing with him. Of course, we're months down the track now from when he was drafted 52nd overall by the Warriors in June's NBA draft. He came back, returned from injury for the final 2 games of Summer League, played pretty well, had an introductory press conference with Golden State, which would suggest that, okay, this guy's hanging around. He's not doing an introductory press conference if they're just going to go send him to Europe or international to play as a kind of draft and stash guy, which sometimes happens with these picks in the 50s kind of thing. So what's going to happen with Quinten Post? I think the most likely scenario is that he ultimately takes Reece Beekman's spot on a 2-way contract, which I know GSW CBA on Twitter has already kind of referenced after these signings today with Dante Scott and Jabin Johnson, because a lot of people asking, well, what's going on with Quinten Post? That would be the most likely scenario, I think, but we're just going to have to wait and see there. He's going to be on the roster in some way, shape, or form. So technically it's really a 22-man training camp roster because like Quinten Post will be there. He's just like not signed in any way, shape, or form right now, which is interesting. And I'm assuming he has to be signed to be at training camp. So I'd expect something to happen here over the next couple of weeks. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. But again, the most likely scenario, I think, would be that he takes Beekman's spot on a 2-way contract. That's kind of what I thought for the majority of the last couple of months, particularly after the marketing and stuff didn't happen, because I thought, well, if there's a trade that happens and it's like a 2-for-1, 3-for-1 trade where roster spots open up, then Quinten Post grab one of those. There is the unlikely possibility that he takes Guy Santos' spot on the main roster. Again, I don't think that will happen. So, yeah, we'll wait and see with Quinten Post, but that's kind of the one big question mark just regarding this roster ahead of training camp and preseason. But other than that, like, this looks to be the roster for training camp and therefore the 14-man roster heading into next season with the trio of 2-way contracts as well.